Hi, everybody. It's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with your weekly wisdom for August 17th through August 23rd. And I'm doing something new. I posted on Facebook and Instagram a little thing that said, Ask Me Anything. And I got a lot of responses, mostly private messages, which is totally fine. So when I reveal the answers or your answers, I won't use your name if you private messaged me. If it was a public question, then I will use your name and I hope you don't mind. So I will be talking about the astrology, the astronomy, the crystals, the cards, and then I will get into answering the questions for those who ask me. So this is the new thing I want to do because I really like to change things up. I get bored very easily. The same old, over and over. So I'm proposing to all of you that are watching this, ask me anything. You can send me an email at expressionsoftheuniverse8183@gmail.com. Go to my website, expressionsoftheuniverse.com, Instagram or Facebook, and you can send me a DM or a private message there, or you can post your question in the Ask Me Anything box if you want to make it public. And seriously, it can be anything. If you're looking for an answer from a loved one that has crossed over, you may not be feeling well, you want to know what you should be doing. Animal totems, crystals, tarot, astrology, astronomy, your chart, how to read your chart, numerology, angel numbers. I got a couple of those questions. So stay tuned for the answers because they may also help you. For the astrology this week and the astronomy, we have the moon is void, of course, which I wanted to talk about in case any of you astro fans were interested in that. But we have moon in Pisces that is getting ready to move into Aries, then Taurus, then Gemini. So we have, what kind of a week do we have? We're going from dreamy to very action fiery based to grounded earth, and then we're ending the week in our minds. The void, of course, and I brought my astro calendar, and a lot of you always ask. I use the Celestial Influences by Jim Maynard. If you're interested, it's a beautiful calendar. Gives you all the astro aspects. It even teaches you how to read the charts a little bit. So if you're a novice, you're just starting out, you're a beginner, you can learn. But the void, of course, moon, it's when the moon is switching signs. So we're kind of in Pisces tonight. It won't be fully in Aries until tomorrow morning. And that space that's in between, that's weird. My phone just turned on. The space that's in between is called void, the void space. We should never be making decisions or doing anything, crazy, anything, because our minds are not all there. The moon controls our emotions, so we may not be emotionally stable during a void, of course, moon. So just to let you know, we are in a void, of course, moon, a void course moon now. Then there will be another one on Tuesday before it changes into Taurus. And then the moon will go void, of course, again on Thursday before it moves into Gemini. And then Saturday, but I'll do that next week. We are in 24 degrees of Leo, which 24 is, I've been talking a lot about 24s and 14s. We will end the week with the last day of Leo, 29 degrees, and then it's happy birthday Virgo, with Friday being 0 degrees Virgo. And I'm really looking forward to this change because I am so over the Leo energy. I have a Leo moon, so my moon is aspecting so much, and I'm tired, I'm drained, and I am really just over Leo at this point. I'm ready for Virgo. I'm ready to get grounded. I'm ready to get to work, get a little analytical. So that's what I have going on for you this week. The following week, on the 30th, we will have a super new moon in Virgo, but I'll talk about that next week. We have an Earth trine, or a trine in Earth, almost all week, which is fabulous because it will really get us grounded. Earth is about getting things done as far as when it comes to material things, our money, our careers. So there'll be a big focus on that, but it's about getting real and getting serious. And that's why I think I'm so over the Leo. I know, it's about play and being childlike. However, I'm ready to get down to business. We also have a yod. I've been seeing a lot of yods. Those are injunctions, quincunxes, and it sort of looks like this crystal, even though this is not what I'm using. And excuse me, I have something in my eye. I don't want to stop the video. This is what a yod looks like in the chart. It is a 60-degree bottom angle by a 150-degree angle, and it's called the finger of God or the eye of God. So wherever this is pointing to, it's like sending us in that direction. And so that's pretty interesting. So the foot of the yod this week is Pisces and Capricorn. So that's like our dreamy state. And then the Capricorn, that's us being serious about achievements and business and being stable. And then it's pointing to the Leo sun, and Mercury is right there next to it. So I think it's like our communications, improving on communications, and really it is about that Leo energy, that love, that pride, and finishing out the week, finishing out the Leo sign in that energy. The end of the week, we're going to find ourselves in a lot of squares, a lot of changing energy, some tension will be building. We have the moon is crossing Uranus, which is, it'll be like a kind of a tense, emotional time. It's also crossing Taurus because Uranus is in Taurus. And so that's like us getting really emotional about our material things, our possessions, the things that we want in life. I got two pups at my feet. I'm going to wrap it up on the astro. The astronomy for the week, if you want to look up in the sky, up until Saturday, August 24th, you could probably still catch some Perseids. We're past the peak, but if you have clear skies, get out there after midnight, before the sun rises, and see if you could see some shooting stars. But what's up in the sky that's really shining? It is the summer triangle. And yes, it's Deneb, Altar, and Vega. They're three of the brightest stars, so you'll be able to really see it. It will be right overhead, and that will be something really cool to look at. Earth Sky talks about Ophiuchus, which is the 13th astrological sign. I'm not even getting into that. Cassiopeia will be pointing to the Andromeda Galaxy. Cassiopeia is where I had you looking for the Perseid meteor shower. And the moon winter circle at dawn on August 25th, which is next Sunday. Maybe I'll write about that so that I can give you some more information about the winter circle. It's when the moon crosses all of these different constellations in the sky. It actually makes a hexagon and not a circle, but they call it a circle. And it's actually the gateway here in the northern hemisphere of the opening for the winter season to start coming in. I know it's so depressing. Summer is coming to an end here, but I know my friends down under in New Zealand and Australia, you are probably happy because your winter is ending. All right. So the crystal I have for you for this week, what I did, I took the new Crystal Spirit Oracle deck from Colette Baron Reed that I got last week. I picked the card and then I went and got the crystal. It is green aventurine, and it's probably one of my least favorite stones. So I don't have a whole lot and I don't really have a good sample, but I do have one for you. This is what it looks like. I think it's like one of the ugliest stones. I know that I almost feel bad saying that. Green aventurine, and I know so many people that love it, but it's so to me. Anyway, it is luck, prosperity, abundance. So I know a lot of you may want to run out and get some. It's super inexpensive. This card's beautiful, though. I really like the card. And what else? This is also super powerful for healing, especially healing the heart chakra. So, I mean, it's a great stone. I just don't particularly like it because I don't think it's pretty. And I like to wear colors that stand out, that are pretty. So, green aventurine, I will feature that this week for all of you. And then the cards that I have for the week. I have the overarching theme, and I'm using another Colette Baron Reed deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. The first card that came out is Time for a Nap. However, I'm going to put that to the side. Time for a Nap speaks about taking a rest, rejuvenating, taking a step back, and allowing everything to flow, allow ideas to come to you, allow epiphanies to come to you. We have a lot of changes coming up, especially at the end of the week when the sun moves into Virgo. Virgos. And so this is a really great time to go on holiday, to wrap things up for the changing seasons and get ready for the changing season. This is the energy of non-action in order for things to manifest. We don't have to be pushing and pushing and pushing and going all of the time. Sometimes we have to do the work and then take a breath, take a sit, take a step back to allow everything to unfold the way that it's supposed to. So, time for a nap. You don't even ever have to twist my arm to take a nap. It's my favorite thing to do. So I'm ready for that. I am ready for that. The next card that's coming up, it's Truth Be Told. And this card is in the reversed or protection position. And what this is saying to me, this is about being totally honest with not only yourself, but others, and asking for total honesty from others. I want you to take a look at your life and ask yourself the question, where am I not happy? Where do I feel tension? It's time to get real and honest with ourselves. If it's a person, a place, or a thing that is making you unhappy, you have to take a really good hard look at it while you're taking your respite and ask yourself, is it worth the tension and the stress? We are changing signs. We are changing seasons. Virgo is about virtue. It is about integrity. So this is a perfect card to segue into that Virgo energy. You have to get real and honest with yourselves this week and prepare for the Virgo energy, because this is what's going to be hitting you for the next 30 days. So, even get a tablet out, do some soul searching, really dig deep and find out what in your life, who in your life is not making you happy. It could even be you. You could even discover that there are things that you need to change in order to make yourself happy. I'm telling you, changes are coming, and it is all about integrity and getting honest with yourself, demanding honesty from others, demanding others to be authentic and in full integrity with you. So more on that later. And then the final card. Now, this, I kind of wanted to put this at the beginning of the week. So when I post these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to post this card first. I'm going to post Truth Be Told on Wednesday. So Monday, Wednesday, and then I will post this on Friday, I think. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. Sorry. Anyway, Unfinished Symphony. It came up in my pick a card last week in one of the piles. It's in reverse position. So this is telling me, before you take that nap, there are some things, some loose ends that need to be tied up. You need to deliver the project. You need to be in integrity and do what it is that you said you were going to do. So if you've told somebody, that you were going to do a favor for them, or maybe it's a work project before maybe you're leaving a job, you have to finish whatever it is that you've started and put that to rest before you take your respite, before we change the season. So let's start Monday off with that, and just so that you could take stock of what may need to get done. This is also about anything that you've been procrastinating on. It could be a conversation of, telling someone that you've had enough, or you would like to give your resignation somewhere, ending a situation, but you've been procrastinating because you have, maybe been worried on what the other side, the other party is going to say. You have to take care of it this week. So that's what I have for you. Now I'm going to get into the Ask Me Anything questions. And I would love to do this each week to give you all an opportunity to have some of your burning questions answered, and also maybe to see if what I say resonates with you, as I do readings, astrology charts, tarot readings, all different price levels. And if you ask me a question, I'm going to send you a discount coupon. If you're a returning customer, you always get a discount coupon code. But first timers, I will send you a little discount coupon as a thank you for asking me a question. For those who have asked the questions, I'll send those out to you over the weekend. Okay. Now I'm going to pull some cards. I've looked at some of your charts, or I just channeled the information. Maybe more will come through now. But Lisa Kaminsky asks, and she posted this publicly on Facebook. I keep seeing, and I'm paraphrasing, I keep seeing the number 222 over and over and over again for a while. And now I'm seeing 333 and 555. What does the change in the numbers mean? All right. So immediately recognizing the numbers, first of all, is so special because most people don't even realize the significance in seeing a series of numbers. And because of our clocks, we can't see, say, the sevens, like 777 or an 888 999. But the 222, 111s, 333s, 555s, etc., we can catch them on the clock. But you know what? It's such a coincidence, or not. I smelled something burning. I have candles over there. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not setting the house on fire. So Lisa, when you were seeing the twos, which is a sign to keep the faith and have trust, and now the threes come in. This is, to me, it's the ascended masters. It says that you're being watched over, you're being looked after. I know I took a lot of notes, but I'm just going to wing it. The fives say the change is coming. And then when I see fives, I kind of get a little bit nervous, especially when they're repeating over and over again. It almost makes me hold my breath because when I see the fives, for me, I mean, I know that it means change. It's also our thoughts and our words. But when I personally see the fives, I know that something major is coming to an end, and something that could possibly break my heart because I get so attached to things like so many people do, like my pets, my beloved animals. So, the fives could mean a completely different change for you, but just know that change is coming. Noticing the original pattern of the 222, puts one on notice to keep having faith that all will work out. It's also balance, harmony. It's a sign that you're not alone. You have to trust. And the change of the numbers indicates that the energy around you is shifting, quite literally, as the 555 is change. So these are the notes that I wrote this morning while I was drinking my coffee, nice and quiet early in the morning. The threes always tell me that higher powers are at play. The ascended masters, for instance, prayers are being answered, and you are being watched over and guided. The 555 also says it's time to let go of the old and allow something else to come in. And if you don't do that, it's going to happen anyway. And that's why I think I get so much anxiety sometimes, because I resist. I resist change. I don't like change, even though I'm changing it up with the ask me. I mean, if I initiate change, then okay, but I don't like things being changed for me because I get all nice and comfortable. And so with that, I wind up sometimes staying in situations far longer than I should, just because I get this comfort zone, and change is uncomfortable. And I'm sure some of you probably feel the same way. So, Lisa, I hope that answered your question for you about the numbers and changing and what they mean. And just in case anybody else was wondering, the 111, it puts you on alert to pay attention. It also says to be very, very impeccable with your thoughts and your words and your ideas that you're thinking, because things are manifesting very quickly. The twos, of course, are faith and trust. Also a symbol that you're not alone. 3's the ascended masters. You're being watched. You're being guided. 4, you're being watched over by angels. Angels are with you and they're guiding you in the right direction. The 5s are change. 6 is about material things. It is also about harmony and beauty and balance. But whenever 6s come up a lot, you have to stop worrying about money and material things, because the more you worry, the more you push it away. So whenever I see series of 6s, it's almost like the angels are reminding me, stop worrying about money or stop worrying about material things, because you're only going to make your situation worse. 7 is sensing, it's spirit. It's also saying that you're on the right path. So the 7s are very good. They're lucky, of course. 8s are about abundance. They're infinity, eternity. It is an alchemical number of manifestation. And the 8, it's like an infinity symbol, no matter which way you turn it. And then the 9s, there's like a dual meaning to those. 9s are action, but it's also, when I see 9s, it symbolizes endings to me. So, and then 0, I believe, is the higher power, whichever you call it, whether it be God, the universe, Allah, Yahweh, Buddha. And forgive me if I'm not listing all of those, but that's what I think the 0 is. It's like that higher power, that higher energy is taking over and supporting you with that. All right. Okay, so I can't remember if I'm going to have to come back to this. I have a chart reading, chart questions, so I'll have to pause or stop my video, because I'm going to want to record, because I don't think I can bring it up here. But one of our viewers, and I can't remember if it's private or not, asked, what is a stellium when it comes to astrology? I think I'm just going to pull it up on my phone, because I have this viewer's chart. And you have an amazing chart, by the way. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's sirens going off. Sorry for the delay here. All right. So what is a stellium? It's really easy to see it in this. I'm pulling up this person's chart. I'm going to move. Hopefully you can see this. No, you're not going to be able to. The glare is too much. Anyway, I'm going to record a little blip and then maybe put it up here so that you can see what I'm talking about. A stellium is a cluster of planets in one house. So we have 12 astrological houses, 12 signs that go around the astrological wheel. And so when you have a cluster of planets in one little house, that's what a stellium is. It's a concentration not only in that sign, but it's also a concentration in that house. So for this viewer's particular question, we have, I really needed to pull up that chart. And this question comes from Youngstown, Ohio. So I hope you don't mind that I'm giving that out. So your stellium is in the first house, and that's the house of the self. You also, what I noticed and what I felt was more important than the stelliums that you have, is you have a double yod. And I've been talking a lot about yods, that injunction, those quincunxes. you have a double yod in your chart, and I didn't notice that before. So I find that really interesting. But this stellium that you have in the first house of the self, it's in Virgo. So this is about service to others. It is institutions. It is being impeccable and meticulous to the point of sometimes OCD. So you have a lot of that energy. And then with it being in the first house, it's all about the self. Overly analytical, overly critical with yourself. And that is where that concentration is. But, sorry. You also, so I throw in asteroids when I'm looking at charts. And you also have a stellium in the sixth house, which is ruled by Virgo. So you have so much Virgo energy, but your part of fortune, your Black Lilith, your fears, they're in that house. That's in Aquarius. So you have a stellium there. And a stellium is 3 or more planets in a particular house. You also kind of have a stellium down in the third house in Scorpio, but not really, because the Venus is actually in Libra, although it is in the same house, in that third house. Also, your rising sign that kind of is in that first house, it's part of your stellium, but your rising sign is in Leo. Now the yod, this is where you're getting the finger of God. You know how I said it's like this pointing. So the feet of your yod are in Mars, Neptune. So this is like the ego, and this dreamy illusion side of yourself, and it's being hit by your sun and Pluto. So this is like harsh realities pointing towards your moon in Aries. I could see that you probably maybe have a lot of repressed anger. There could be lashing out. Now, with these yods, it's like this is your life purpose. Not a lot of people get this in their chart. It's pointing you towards your life purpose. And we have to trust that fate is going to get you to this life purpose. What I noticed is like also too that there should be some sort of big, huge epiphany where you will have such a big impact on somebody else's life. And that's what I mean by the purpose. I have things falling apart in here. Sorry. If it hasn't happened yet, it will. However, it may have to carry over into another life. The finger of God points at the place you need to go, which would be your moon in Aries. So, that is that fiery and emotional and ego energy. I think that you, with all of this Virgo energy, you serve everybody else and you don't take care of yourself. Also, Eris, Eris. It is an asteroid. It is strife and discord. That's part of this yod. And it's saying that you put up a lot of resistance. So during your life, you've had these opportunities to serve out your purpose, and you have resisted. But if fate plays out the way it's supposed to, you're still going to make a huge impact in somebody's life. It's going to be through communication, obviously through your own emotions, your own experiences. So this could be, speaking to someone that's in your family making a difference in their life or speaking in public, because all of that Virgo energy, that is service to the public. So I keep feeling this. And I think in your last reading, I even said that you needed to be out in the public and get out. I just kept picking that up. So I hope I answered your question. I'm going to see if I can post the chart up there while I'm speaking so that all the viewers can see what this looks like. I could even post my own chart because I have a huge stellium in the 12th house in Gemini, as well as a stellium in Virgo. But yeah, my Gemini is crazy because I think I have 8 aspects in there in the 12th house. So anyway, thank you for your question. Another viewer asks, why does my child hate me and blame me for everything that goes wrong in her life? Well, guess what? That's part of being a parent, because I get the same thing. I really feel what I was channeling, my guides were saying, because the two of you are so much alike, yet you're like different sides of the same coin, so to speak. My guides also told me that your daughter was your mother in a past life, and so she thinks that she knows more than you, because in a past life, obviously, she was the mom. Also, my guides were saying people hate the reflection that they see in the mirror. So when we are in discord with someone else and we're judging, we're hating, we're blaming, it's because we're seeing in another the things that we dislike within ourselves. So the major message here is, don't take this personally, because her being that way is showing everyone the discord that's going on within her, the things that she's working out. We have to remember when we were that age, how did we behave? We don't have our lives together. I mean, hopefully most people do, after several decades have passed, but when our children are young, and I think your child is probably around the same age as mine, they think they know it all, but they don't, because they don't have the life experience that we do. And then we try to intervene by offering suggestions and share our world experience and our life experiences, and they don't want to hear it. And actually, they have to go through these things themselves. We as parents, we want to protect our children, and so we try to help them, and it's just not worth it. My guides also said, stop sticking your nose into her business. So that's kind of part of what I was saying. You need to detach and back off and let her deal with her issues. Then this way she also cannot blame you. Seems like she may come to you with her problems and then blames you and others for the advice that is given to her. She needs to take responsibility for her own problems. I feel that there's so much watery emotions here, that it's hard for both of you to deal with the emotional aspects. There's a lot of hurt because of this, because you're taking it so personally. The emotions are in both of your natures, water. These emotions run very deep, but it's time for you to detach and back off a little bit. Go and do your own thing. Don't be so concerned and be up in her business and wanting to know. She's going to come to you and want some advice, and say it just doesn't work. I mean, of course, you'll probably give her the advice. I want to pull a card just to see if maybe my channel is correct. Like, why does she hate and blame? Oh, okay. So cards fell out. We have jumpers. All right. So the crown chakra came up. Crown chakra, it is symbolized by the violet color, by amethyst. Crown chakra is saying she's closed off to any advice, whether it be from a higher power, from anybody else. She's very close-minded, trying to think. Now, I do know your chart. I do know your daughter's information as well. Not all of it, but enough. There's a duality here, an imbalance, and denial. Almost like she's in her own delusion, her own world. So you really have to back off. Now, this is all I have to say. The crown chakra. Also, too, the next card that fell out of the deck is patience. So you have to have a lot of patience in this situation. But knowing your chart, you take everything to heart very personally. You definitely have to detach. Start doing things for you. Keep yourself busy with your own things. And soon enough, things will start to move forward in a positive way when you can detach and surrender to the situation. So I hope you like that. I hope you like that. Thank you for your question. All right, the next question, it wasn't even a question. One of my viewers was going to ask me a question, and instead he sent me a beautiful message thanking me for all of this and my posts on the Facebook page and Instagram and my website. So what I would like to do for him is I'm going to pull an angel card to see what message. Now, I hope he's watching and he knows that this is for him. And I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to say this is for Gonzalo. And thank you so much for your beautiful message. All right, and I am going to choose this card, and this is wisdom. So Gonzalo, this is for you. You can go ahead and pause your screen, and I'll just read it real quick. Knowledge is learned, but wisdom is divine prompting within you. Your angel guidance is to connect to your still, quiet center and listen to the wisdom of your soul. Then you will take decisions and act from your own infinite self. With wisdom, life takes on new perspective as dramas and fears become insignificant in comparison with the magnificence of the overall picture. Walk your path in life as one of the wise ones, and all will revere and respect you. And your affirmation is, I listen to my wisdom. So I think that was perfect and beautiful for you, Gonzalo. I hope you liked that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the beautiful message that you sent to me. All right, so our next viewer question is, don't even remember. I don't even remember what the question is, but I have the answer. So hold on a second. The question was, oh my goodness. So sorry. Messages. All right, there we go. Okay. So the next viewer question was, hey Kim, I'm curious if I'm on the right path. I see a series of 111 a lot also. There is definitely movements going on with work and home between me and my family. I feel like things are moving forward with me, and I feel there is a change coming for my son and husband. Just a matter of time. All right, so I have this particular viewer's chart as well from previous readings. And I looked up the information. So the 111, I did explain that earlier in this video. This is keeping you on alert. It's an angel number. It's saying be very mindful of thoughts, ideas, words as they are manifesting quickly. And I don't know what this puppy ate that's under my chair, but oh my gosh, I'm dying right now. So the 111, and I know that you probably know this, I hope, you're an 11-degree Aquarius. It's integrity, it's authenticity. It is about loving of the self. You have a Libra moon. Jupiter, which is the planet of luck, is transiting your first house. So that's yourself right now. And that's really great and will be transiting that area until December. So big changes, great things could be happening. Also, changes are coming to your money by January of 2020. The rules are changing. Now, what's interesting, your husband, he's a 1-degree Aquarius with a Libra moon as well. And he needs to dream big. The rules are also changing for him. Your charts are so similar, it's kind of creepy. Not creepy, but it's synchronistic. So automatically tells me that you are both meant to be together. But because your charts are so similar, these changes are going to be affecting both of you. So a lot of times when I read for a husband and wife, their charts are so different from each other. It's like, well, are they even going in the same direction? Because I see huge changes coming for her, and then he's going in a different direction. But you and your husband, you're so in sync that everything happens to the both of you. I want to suggest for him, he needs to become a little bit softer and more open, more family oriented, like both of you being more homebodies than you have been. Focusing on the home and the family is really what is highlighted for both of you. Big changes are coming. Let's see. Both of you have Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is our wounded healer. You are both going through your Chiron returns for the next 8 years. And you've already been in it. So there's going to be a lot of emotional things coming up, bubbling up to the surface. That would be the biggest challenge for the both of you, because you're both dealing with wounds from a past life on an individual basis, but obviously it would affect both of you. Your son, he's a Capricorn, and he has this huge stellium, which I spoke about stelliums earlier in this video, in Capricorn. Huge changes are coming his way, especially by January of 2020. It seems like everything in his life is going to change. He has an Aquarius moon, which is pretty interesting considering that both you and your husband are Aquarians. So it's almost like his emotions are totally in sync with the people that you are. And I often see this when I'm reading for families, husbands, wives, children, mothers, fathers, parents, the grandparents, that our charts have aspects within each other's charts that totally align with our own charts. And that kind of almost proves to me that my theory of us being of soul families and, being in a soul family on the other side or wherever it is, whatever dimension we come from and go back to, that we are, we come onto this earth plane in clusters to accomplish certain things together. And so, there could be oppositions in the chart where you'll have challenges with people, but you have such a harmonious little family unit because your charts they line up with each other. I mean, of course, there are tensions with your son because he has so much Capricorn energy. So he's very, feet firmly planted in the ground. Maybe not yet because he is young, but he is set up to achieve in this lifetime. That Aquarius moon will have him being very, very innovative, full of ideas, humanitarian, but he can detach himself emotionally because of all of that Capricorn energy and that Aquarian moon. He's very good at doing that. So he can get the job done. I see good things happening for your whole family. 6 months' time, things will be completely different than they are right now. That is what I'm picking up. Now, you wanted to know if you were on the right path, and I'm going to pull a card for that. And I know this video is really getting a lot longer than I expected it. So I hope you're all still watching. Okay, let's just shuffle. Are you on the right path? All right. You're in deep contemplation right now, which we obviously know because you're questioning whether you're on the right path. I'm going to go back to the card that I pulled for the week called Truth Be Told, because you are an 11-degree Aquarian, and the 11 is about integrity. We are coming into the Virgo energy. This Solitude card, I want to I have to think on this a little bit. That's part of doing these things live. Going back to the Truth Be Told. So are you on the right path? You want to ask yourself what in your life is not making you happy. So this path that you are supposedly on, are you happy about it? Or is it causing you stress and anxiety? Because if it is, then you're on the wrong path. If you are feeling joy and happiness and excitement and passion, then you're on the right path. This is saying to me, solitude in reverse. This would be the Hermit card in a traditional tarot deck. This is saying that I think that you have maybe spent too much time by yourself, too much time kind of locked away, too much time praying, so to speak, too much time like just turning your back on things that are kind of right in front of your face and presented right there for you. So this is saying it's time to come back out of your shell a little bit. If you have been pushing and working too hard, I'm also going to reference that take a nap card, because when we take a step back and we go into a non-action mode, we will have epiphanies and ideas will come to us and our right path will be shown to us. I'm showing that you are being tempted to go on the wrong path. Something shiny, sparkly over here is going to try and distract you. And that's maybe why you're questioning, am I on the right path? Because in the back of your mind, you're wondering, did I do the right thing? Or like there's this, you know, this opportunity over here and it looks great because it's all shiny, sparkly, brand new. And, you know, it looks great maybe on paper, but in reality it won't be. So just be cautious. Take that step of non-action and just sit back. And I would say, you know, especially with you being an Aquarius, your husband, Uranus is retrograde until January 11th of 2020. That's when I see all these changes occurring. So Uranus, who is usually plowing through and making changes, is kind of taking a back seat right now and taking it easy. And I'm going to suggest that you do the same and just kind of surrender and go with the flow. And within 6 months, you will know if you are on the right path because it's going to come to you. You don't have to try that hard for this. So I hope you liked your answer. Thank you so much for your question. All right. Next. Oh my goodness. I still have 2 more to do. So I'm going to have to move through these quickly. All right. So another viewer asks about health, digestive issues, and stomach issues for the last 30 years. I took a peek at this person's chart and I discovered you are a 0-degree Cancer, and that's my rising sign. So that will play a part in this. Capricorn moon, little stubbornness there. I wrote a lot of notes. So the first thing I'm picking up with the stomach, I asked my guides. It's saying low self-esteem. Sounds to me like there's anxiety. You're on edge. Nervous situation. I just feel this tenseness. Also, diet is playing a part. What you're putting into your body. You need to be impeccable with what you are putting into your body. You may have to do like a process of elimination. I'm sure if you have been suffering with these stomach issues, digestive issues for 30 years, you've probably tried everything. I'm curious as if you have gotten a colonoscopy, most importantly, an endoscopy with maybe a biopsy to see what is going on with the tissue lining in your digestive tract. I'm also seeing lack of self-care, which also amounts to not nourishing the self, not nourishing the soul, the mind, body, and soul, but not also getting the proper nourishment for the self. Now, my guide said that this is when we are unable to accept changes throughout our lives and assimilate to the changes that occur. That's when we have these digestive issues. It's like, I can't digest this, so to speak. I can't stomach it, That's where these sayings have come from. It's fear. It's the lack of digestion of ideas and situations. Some questions to ask yourself. Who or what can't you stomach? And also, who or what gets you in the gut? So that kind of goes back to the truth be told card this week. We're getting real, we're getting honest with ourselves. And so that 0-degree Cancer, that's a lot of emotion. It's everything and nothing all at one time. That 0-degree Cancer, it's extremely emotional. You probably tend to want to, crawl into your little shell and keep yourself protected because you don't want to deal with that outer world. The 0 degree is saying you need to put boundaries up, healthy boundaries and protection around yourself. Often when I see these aspects, it's you're allowing people to maybe walk all over you, get away with things, and you let it happen because you want to keep the peace. So I'm feeling that the stomach issues are coming from that. Um, Over analyzing things. I feel that you want to make changes. You want to make changes in the world. This is Virgo aspects that are coming up. Never sure of where you belong. So your Venus is at 22 degrees Gemini. We just had that full moon at 22 degrees Aquarius. Wondering how you felt on August 15th, because that's when that happened. I would think that that would have gotten you really in the gut, because I'm feeling that you aren't sure of where your sense of belonging is. Fears of not being good enough also trigger the stomach issues. Maybe we cannot stomach who we are. We rip our guts apart trying to please others. This is what my guides were telling me. They also said that I should pull a card for you. And so let me do that. I'm hoping that these messages have resonated with you, with all of you. But you know what? I too suffer from stomach and digestive issues since I was born. I know that I came into this life with that, but I think it was my early childhood. So a lot of times people that have these stomach issues, it's early childhood things that later manifest. Also, too, if you're stuffing your emotions down and you're not allowing yourself to feel your emotions, which cancers could maybe often do because they want to present a certain appearance out to the world, and they won't show their emotions on the outside, then that also too creates some really bad digestive issues. But that's all part of the self-nurturing and taking care of yourself and raising your self-esteem to know that you are worth putting yourself first and foremost. All right, so let's see if the cards indicate what the issue is. And it's triumph, but it's in reverse position. And this is telling me that you allow everybody else to win. Everybody else around you gets to win except for you. So this could be you doing for everyone else. You allowing people to get away with things that they probably shouldn't. You being possibly a people pleaser. And this is affecting your digestive system greatly. And when I talked about assimilating to changes, there's the analogy of when airplanes first were made commercial to the general public. People were very excited about it, getting into a metal tube that's going to take them through the sky to their destination. However, there are barf bags on those airplanes. And in the beginning, everybody, because of their nerves, were constantly throwing up. And so stewardesses, that was pretty much their main job, was to just constantly take the barf bags from these passengers, because they hadn't assimilated to the fact that we're up in the sky. We're flying across the world, across the country. It was nerve-wracking. But now, even though there are barf bags still on airplanes, for the most part, if you have flown, if any of you have, I mean, I travel all the time for my day job. It's nothing. You get on the plane, it's like getting into your car and going to work, or getting onto a bus or a train. It's no different. So even though they're still provided we've all assimilated to that change. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you've had a lot of changes over the last 30 years, or even huge losses that you've repressed and pushed down, that's going to cause those stomach issues. So you really need to do some deep soul searching and ask yourself the questions about who you can't stomach or who's got you in the gut. What is it? Can you look back in your life? Um, and ask yourself these questions, like, when did you have any big losses that you just won't have not accepted, and you stuff down your emotions? If you're people pleasing, that could be another reason. So I hope that helps, and thank you so much for your question. And the final question, and I know this is long, 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 long. I will still continue to do Ask Me Anything, but I think I will have to limit it to, only a couple of questions. I wanted to get everybody out there since this is the first time I'm doing it. All right, so another viewer and follower asked, will I be strong enough or will I stay the same? All right, we never stay the same for the most part, but we're hoping that we're always growing and evolving into better versions of ourselves over time. This particular viewer is fairly young, 30 years old. So 30, you have just gone through your Saturn return. So between 27 and 30, it is an extremely difficult and emotional time. Probably one of the darkest nights of my soul. And my own daughter, who's 31, was a tough time. And so you will come out and grow. And because you're asking this question, you're aware that you do want to do these things. So I think that you will. What's interesting, when you were born, Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn were all retrograde. So this is telling me a couple of different things. You had unfinished business in a past life that you're now bringing here. So you need to be strong because you have to finish what you didn't finish in that past life. Also, too, it's kind of a blessing because when Mercury is retrograde, you're actually online. That's when you shine. Pluto and Saturn are retrograde now. So those are changes. The rules are changing. Timelines are changing. I think that you're really feeling, because they are retrograde. So this is when you're online with those planets, is that you're feeling the need to change, pay any karmic debts that need to be taken care of. And so I just think that you're being flooded with a lot of emotions at this time, and this will continue, unfortunately, for at least another year. You are a 2-degree Gemini, so that's emotional tossing and turning. Hail to the Geminis. Your Mercury retrograde is also 2 degrees Gemini. So, and that's in the 7th house of partnerships. So this is where those issues could be that you're talking about, just being strong for also yourself and the family. But I have good news. You have a Capricorn moon. Excuse me. And my guides told me that you are set up to achieve. So you're programmed to achieve. But my guides also said, don't play the victim, because that's weak. Shit happens to us. It happens to all of us. We have to just say, okay, this happened, and then move on, because you're so much stronger than that. Your rising sign is in Scorpio, so that's also very emotional. There's a lack of trust in yourself, and that is where the weakness is coming in. Very emotional. Your Chiron, the wounded healer, is in Cancer. Extremely emotional. It's wounds of your sense of self. So you're not seeing yourself how other people may perceive you. Um, this is lack of self-love, self-care, self-nourishment. Kind of like I just spoke about to the last question. You will heal, you will grow stronger when you learn to love yourself. This is what my guides told me. Your part of fortune, so this is ironic. Your part of fortune, which is like, where does your fortune come in your chart, is right next to your Chiron in Cancer. So this is saying to me, where your wounds are is where your fortune is. So this could be overcoming and becoming stronger and having that stronger sense of self, a stronger sense of self-worth, a stronger sense of self-love, and taking those wounds and helping other people with it. So that is very, very possible. Sharing your story with someone else. Your midheaven is in Virgo. Midheaven is kind of like, where's my career going? And so that is service to others. And this is where you will definitely shine. What I'm also seeing is that with these aspects in your chart that I looked at, it's often showing neglect, abuse from a past life or early childhood in this life, and that's where that weakness can be coming from. A need to feel people. Oh, you have a need to feel that people care about you, but when you don't care about yourself, you're not going to feel that from other people. So my guides were saying that there are people there and around you that show that they love you and care for you, but you have a preconceived notion of how you want to see that show up in your life. So you're not seeing that these little things that people are doing for you or saying, like, little gestures, are signs that they are caring about you. And it all comes down to self-love. Yes. So will you get stronger? Yes, you will. But you have a lot of work to do. I would say between now and 40, there's going to be some huge changes. And you need to do this now before you have your Chiron return, because it could be an emotional time. So thank you for your question. I hope you liked your answer. I know this video was extremely long tonight. We'll have to pare it down to like 1 to 3 questions going forward. So please ask me anything, submit your questions to expressionsoftheuniverse.com, on Facebook, Instagram, and my website. What else? If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe. Click the little bell so you get notified when I produce these videos. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your questions, and have a beautiful week.